Hello, my name is Tara. Today, I am super excited to share a powerful book that has touched my heart. Shattered Mirrors: Reclaiming Your True Self After Narcissistic Abuse by Brigid Dana. This book is a beacon of hope for those who have experienced narcissistic abuse and are looking to reclaim their identity. I want to read a specific passage from the book that particularly moved me. Here it is. When I turned 21 years old, my mother generously gifted my sister and I a piece of jewelry, a significant gift considering our financial situation. We got to choose something beautiful within a tight budget. My sister opted for a super simple yellow gold ring, while I was feeling extra fancy and picked out an intricate ring made of with and yellow gold featuring an amethyst crystal. It was a custom dream, and I consciously decided to wear it only on special occasions. When I was not rocking that ring, it sat proudly on my chest of drawers, waiting for its moment to shine. But one Tuesday afternoon, calamity struck. I received a frantic phone call from my mother while at work. She had just returned from her usual Tuesday shopping trip only to discover that our house had been broken into. I quickly bolted from work, racing home to help the police identify our missing possessions. And guess what? My beloved ring had vanished along with the electric keyboard I had saved up for like it was a unicorn. The robbers must have been a bit flighty themselves, as other electronics were unplugged but definitely left behind. Perhaps they were more into the old-fashioned fare? I remember my neighbor from across the street popping over to offer some weak consolation. Her well-meaning words felt about as comforting as a wet blanket. To make matters worse, during our very next Wednesday family night, a mandatory religious prayer night, as we called it, my father publicly declared that the robbery was all my fault. Apparently, God had deemed me unfaithful with my tithes to the church, and in turn, I had been punished with this robbery as only my possessions were stolen. Never mind that our house had less security than a cardboard box on the side of the road, plus my mother's predictable routine had practically put a "rob me" sign on our front lawn. I sat there crying and pleading, absolutely convinced that I had diligently and faithfully calculated and paid my tithes. Instead of receiving a comforting shoulder to cry on, I was met with the lovely combination of religious abuse and shaming, all disguised in the glorious wrapping of godliness. To add insult to injury, my items were not insured and I never received a penny of compensation. This section resonated with me deeply because it highlights the struggle and the journey towards self-acceptance after experiencing emotional turmoil. When I read these words, I felt a wave of recognition wash over me. It made me remember my pain, confusion, and loneliness I felt during my own journey. It touched the core of my being, stirring emotions of sadness, yet also hope. Now, let me share my personal experience. I too have faced challenges in reclaiming my identity after a toxic relationship. There were countless nights when I doubted myself, questioning my worth and my reality. But through that struggle, I found the courage to seek help and rebuild myself. This journey has been both painful and liberating, and I believe this book captures that essence beautifully. I too grew up in a religious cult. Even though the author does not refer to her experience as being in a cult, I recognized all the elements she wrote about. The constant and relentless programming of the religion, the belief that it is the only way to salvation, and the godlike complex of this main character in the book are classic examples of narcissism combined with religious abuse. The guilt and shame programming is rife in these types of cults and takes years to overcome. This narrative connects deeply with the various other themes explored in Shattered Mirrors. In closing, Shattered Mirrors is more than just a book. It is a guide for anyone seeking healing and self-reclamation. I highly encourage you to pick up a copy, especially as the ebook version is available on Amazon.com. I felt so moved that I had to take a moment to share my review and experience with you. Thank you to the author for being vulnerable and brave enough to share her story and insights. Pick up your copy today.